Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Sam from Team SamRakes1 here. Happy Wednesday! If you guys have any deck profile requests, please make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. Today's video, I got you guys a full power competitive Dinosaur deck profile for the 2021 format. Yes, miscellaneous source to 1 does hurt the deck. That doesn't hurt me at all. It doesn't. Because you know what? Me as a Dino player, listen, we try to go extinct. But guess what? We always bounce back. And that's the good thing about Dino DNA. People right now who are complaining that Misc is at 1, yada yada yada, they weren't real Dino players anyways. Like, just go. It's okay. Play Sky Strikers. We don't want you in our Jurassic Park, alright?
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Think about it this way, okay? You have a total of 9 miscellaneous source before. 3 Raptor, 3 Fossil Digs, 3 Misc. Now, you have 3 Oviraptor, 3 Fossil Dig, 1 Misc. You went from having access to 9 Misc to 7. You still have 7. Come on! And let me tell you right now, there is a way better way on recycling miscellaneous source without having to just brick your entire deck, which I see a lot of people trying to do right now, like Egyptian gods or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You'll see. All right, guys, I won't waste any more time. Without further ado, let's start with the brand new Dinosaur deck profile for the July 1st, 2020 Banlist. All right, guys, here we go. First and foremost, we're gonna play, of course, triple copies of the best starter card, the entire deck. Triple Soul Eating Oviraptor. This card is absolutely amazing. You want to see Oviraptor in your opening hand as much as possible. And since with Miscellaneous Source now at 1, opening up Oviraptor at Lost World becomes one of the most important combos for the entire deck. So you want to maximize yourself and actually playing 3 copies of Oviraptor. Next off, unfortunately, the one and lonely miscellaneous source. So only 1 copy of Misc. Yes, it sucks that this card's at 1, but hey, Dinos are just too strong. Konami had to nerf them one way or another, but the deck is still very powerful. It is still playable, but the only issue with Misc being at 1 is that it loses its capability of going second, which is what the deck does best, in my personal opinion. So with it at 1, you lose your protection ability, but nonetheless, this deck is a go first deck that can actually make your first turn unbreakable board. The deck is still very, very strong, and 1 Misc is fine, and I'll showcase you guys an efficient way to always recycle miscellaneous source every single turn. And no, you're not adding more bricks into the deck. No, you're not adding Nemesis Keystone. You don't need any of those cards to replace miscellaneous source. 1 miscellaneous source for the deck is just good as is. Remember, you're playing 3 Fossil Digs in the deck. What a lot of people fail to understand is that for a deck to be competitively viable, you need to try to stick to its main form as much as possible. Playing cards like Keystone is great. It's all the personal preference on what you guys want to play, but adding cards in to just try to replace Misc can overall ruin the consistency of the deck even more. Remember, you still have 3 Fossil Digs, so you essentially have 4 copies of Misc in your deck on top of 3 Oviraptor. That's a total copies of 7 miscellaneous source in your deck. You just went down from 9 miscellaneous source to 7 miscellaneous source, which is not that bad. The deck is still playable, and people adding in more cards try to just make Misc recyclable again just makes absolutely no sense in my part. And Nemesis Keystone, one of the things that you guys need to look at is the fact that Keystone doesn't guarantee you a follow-up on Misc. If you guys read its effect, to special summon Keystone, you must return a banished card directly to your deck. Keystone would have been amazing if the card adds the banished cards to your hand and then special summon itself. So essentially, if you're playing Keystone in the deck, like, what's the follow-up? You're not gonna have a follow-up because Keystone just shuffles Misc right back into the deck. Are you gonna guarantee yourself to have Oviraptor every single follow-up? Exactly. You guys understand what I mean? It's like, if Keystone adds this from your banished zone to your hand, that would have been insane, but it doesn't, so it's not that great. And I see a lot of people trying to play like Gallant Granite in the deck as well. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, you're just trying to, like, you might as well just play Animancipator at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like, 1 Misc is fine. You know, you have 7 copies of Misc in your deck. Of course, so 1 Giant Rex, card's absolutely amazing. One of the best extenders in the deck. Next off for your babies, of course, double copies of Animadorn. Still really good. With Misc being down to 1, this card's a really great starter. Next off, of course, for your babies, only 3 babies still. Double Baby Ceratosaurus and also 1 Petite Pteranodon. These cards are still really standard to play in your Dinosaur-based deck. Of course, for your big bosses, double copies of your UCT. Absolutely amazing. One of the best moss monsters in the game right now, alongside with, of course, your Dino Wrestler Pankratops right here, which is really important. Next off, of course, one of the best engines for the deck in my opinion is the Scrap engine. So you're playing double copies of Scrap Raptor, and also the one copy is Scrap Chimera. There are so many ways to combo this deck other than, of course, Baby and Misc. You can combo off with Raptor and also with Lost World. You can combo off with Overraptor and Lost World. There are so many ways to combo with this deck, which is why I love this deck so much. And with the addition of Scrap Raptor in your deck, this card makes your first opening board very strong. You can set up unbreakable boards with Scrap Raptor, up to 6 negates on the very first turn. So I highly recommend playing the Scrap engine for this deck right here. Like I said, in my opinion, with Misc going down to 1, it loses its capability of going second. Going second with Misc at 3 was insane. Now I think that going first is what the deck aims to do best, in my personal opinion. So double copies of Raptor and 1 copy of Scrap Chimera. Next off for the hand traps, the wonderful thing I like about Dinosaur is that you can play up to like 10-11 hand traps, which is really good. And hand traps becomes really important also for the double evolution pill. So triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, absolutely mandatory to play in the deck. Very great overall hand trap in today's metagame. Next off, of course, triple side frame Gear Gamma and the 1 side frame driver. Really amazing. Misc, Baby, and Gamma, you win the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this card is so good. Last but not least, I'm playing double copies of Effect Veiler and double copies of Infinite Impermanence. I didn't want to go over a 40 card deck, so I was just playing 3 Imperms. I was just playing 3 Imperms and 1 Veiler, you know, but I decided to have more variety of just cutting out the 1 Imperm and adding a second Veiler. So that way you have more options, right, in the deck, which is really good. Veilers and Imperm becomes really nice. Adding Nister becomes really popular now, so a lot of you guys don't know what the correct card to hit, and the best card to hit with Imperm or Veiler is Templar. Alright guys, remember, always hit that Ignister Templar with Impermanence and also Effect Veiler against that matchup, okay? The card becomes really good. Also a great trade-off against Kagari and also Suzuku, which is pretty nice. So, you know, of course, the 4 Effect Veiler type cards. Next off for spells, of course, super important. Triple copies of Lost World. Lost World becomes one of the best cards in your entire deck this format. Since Misc is now at 1, this card is super duper important, especially against strikers. You Lost World Overraptor, you literally turn off all their back row. Like, all their 7 Widow Anchors, they cannot even use. You know what I'm saying? Like, this card is just so good. And you can combo off with Lost World and Overraptor pretty well in the deck. It isn't the best opening in comparison to opening up with Baby and Misc, but nonetheless, like Lost World Raptor, Lost World Raptor, like this card is just insane. So 3 Lost World, and of course the 1 Terraforming. You want to try to see this card in your opening hand as quickly as possible. For your consistency cards, of course, triple copies of Fossil Dig. Like I said, guys, think about it this way. Before you had 9 Misc, okay? 3 Fossil Digs, 3 Misc, 3 Overraptors, right? Now you have 7. You know, from going down from 9 to 7 is better than going down from 9 to none. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good that Misc isn't bad, you know? So, triple Fossil Dig is really important still. Next off, of course, double copies of Pill. Very self-explanatory. Last but not least, of course, Call by the Grave. I feel like every deck should be playing this card. Card is so good, you know what I mean? Like, banishing the Rays is very important. Last but not least, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity. Card is still really good. Try to see your combos as quickly as possible. Helps you dig 6 cards deeper into your deck to see the combo pieces that you need. So Prosperity is really important. So that's pretty much it for the main deck. Let's go up to the extra deck real quick. For the extra deck, of course, the 1 Ibuzaur Doka, 1 Lagia. To be honest, like, I barely make Lagia, man. Like, I don't know. I might want to just cut this overall, you know what I'm saying? Like, this card, I don't know, man. 1 Abyss Dweller. Card is still really good. Next off, of course, Tornado Dragon and Dugalis, which is still really good for OTKs, especially the fact you're playing Prosperity, you know, Dugalis, Pentastag is game. Next off for your links, I'm playing the 1 Axis Code Talker, 1 Apollosa. These are the 2 big boss monsters I'm playing in the deck, and the 1 Unicorn, of course, really good at actually breaking boards. Next off, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, Scrap Wyvern, Pentastag, really good cards to play in the deck. Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Unicorn is just really good cards to break boards going second. Linkuriboh and Skirgana, obviously really great cards to use using Amadorn. And last but not least for your synchros, I'm playing the 1 side frame Lord Omega, and of course the 1 Borreload Savage Dragon. And you guys are gonna be asking me, Sam, how do you recycle Misc in the deck? Well, he's right here, Omega. And it doesn't ruin the consistency of the deck at all. This card is a card in your extra deck, which you're going to make all the time. In the deck right here, you guys see that I don't play Lambda. I decided to actually play Access Code instead because when I actually resolve Gamma, I often make Omega instead. Like, I always make Omega so I can guarantee a Misc in my grave every single turn, and that's the difference between Omega and also Keystone, is that Keystone shuffles the Misc into your deck. So what good does it do if you shuffle in the deck and you don't have a follow-up anyway? Like, you need to have Overraptor in your hand for a Keystone to be good, you know, because you're not going to see Misc anyways. Like, are you just going to magically top deck Misc next turn? No, like, Omega is the best card to recycle Misc with. So remember, the best way to recycle Misc, Cyframe Lord Omega, alright? Staple this into your mind, get a tattoo this on your arm, okay? Omega. That's all you got to do. Okay, Borlord Savage Dragon, still really great card. What I was saying, you guys can play Lambda, but I decided to play Access Code instead. I understand not all of you guys might have access to Access Code, but you can play this or Lambda. It's off to personal preference, but I feel like Access Code is just more versatile going second, especially the fact that I can just put a token on my opponent's board with Lost World, and then just like break my opponent's board with Access Code, Phoenix Unicorn, you know what I'm saying? Like, this card is just so good, you know? So that's pretty much it for the extra deck. Let's go on to the combo real quick. Alright guys, so welcome to the combo segment of this video. Overraptor Baby. What you're gonna do is you're gonna normal summon Overraptor, activate Overraptor's effect, you're gonna search miscellaneous source directly from your deck to your hand. Look at that, guys, nothing's changed. Alright guys, you're gonna activate Misc, send this card to the graveyard. Now what you do is you're gonna banish miscellaneous source that's in your grave to special summon Animadorn Archosaur directly from your deck. Now you're gonna activate Animadorn to pop the baby. You're gonna search a double evolution pill directly from your deck to your hand. Now, on resolution, Baby's gonna trigger to special summon another copy of Baby directly from the deck. Now what you do next is very simple. You're gonna activate Overraptor's effect to pop this Baby to special summon the other Baby from your graveyard. So now what's gonna happen, since this Baby is popped, you're gonna activate this Baby's effect to special summon Scrap Raptor. Now you're gonna activate Scrap Raptor's effect to pop the Baby, so that way that you get an additional normal summon of a Scrap monster this turn. So you're gonna activate Raptor to pop the Baby. Since the Baby is popped, you gotta activate Baby's effect again to special summon your Petite Pteranodon directly from the deck. So now what's next is very simple. You're gonna use a Raptor and also Animadorn. You're gonna link these two cards to the graveyard. You are gonna summon your Scrap Wyvern. Now you're gonna activate Scrap Wyvern's effect to special summon Scrap Raptor from the graveyard. Using Scrap Wyvern, you're gonna pop the Scrap Raptor. Chain Links activates now. You're gonna go Chain Link 1 Wyvern, Chain Link 2 Raptor. Scrap Raptor will get its effect to search Scrap Chimera, and now Wyvern's gonna trigger. You're gonna special summon your second Scrap Raptor from your deck, and now you have to pop a card, and the card you're gonna pop is of course your Petite Pteranodon. Once your Petite is popped, you get to activate Petite's effect to special summon your Giant Rex directly from the deck. Now since you have an additional normal summon for a Scrap monster, you're gonna normal summon Scrap Chimera. Scrap Chimera is going to trigger off its effect to special summon back your second Scrap Raptor from your grave. So now what you're going to do is that using Scrap Wyvern, Scrap Chimera, and also a Giant Rex, you're going to link these three cards to the graveyard. You're going to make Apollousa. Now what you're going to do next is using Overraptor and also Scrap Raptor, you're going to make the Borosword Savage Dragon, activate Borosword's effect. You're going to target the Scrap Wyvern, equip it to Borosword. Now what you do next is you're going to activate your double evolution pill. Very simple. You're going to banish your Scrap Chimera and also your Giant Rex that you sent to the graveyard to link summon to Apollousa. Banish these two to special summon your Ultimate Conductor Triangle directly from your deck. Now what's going to happen is that Giant Rex, since it's banished, will get a trigger of its effect to special summon itself from your banish zone. And now what's going to happen next is that using Scrap Raptor and also Giant Rex, you're going to synchro these two cards to the graveyard. You're going to synchro summon into your Cyframe Lord Omega right here. Okay? So yes, you're gonna be making Omega every single time. If you don't have access to Omega, you're probably already losing anyways. So in your hand for the following turn, let's say you already have an Overraptor, okay? At this point, you don't need to go Omega if you don't want to. You only go Omega if you are in lack of a follow-up. So if you already have Overraptor in your hand, it's redundant to go Omega because Overraptor can summon itself. You can just search your Triano next turn, banish it, you know, summon another Triano. Instead, you can just literally just use these two, maybe even make like a Lagia or something like that. That might be even a little bit better. It's all up to personal preference on what kind of cards you want to make. It just depends on the cards that you have in your hand. But if I don't have a follow-up, I would 100% make Omega, like for sure. If I don't have this Overraptor in my hand, I will make Omega, because right here, if you guys think about it, Apollousa is a 3 disruption, this is 4 disruption, 5 disruption, this is 6 disruption. Not only this card recycles your Misc, but it's also a disruption to let you rip a card out of your opponent's hand. On your opponent's standby phase, you get to activate Omega's effect. You get to literally put this card back into your graveyard, which is why Keystone sucks, because Keystone shuffled this card back into the deck. Like, what's the point? The only reason why Misc is good is it's in its grave. Like, why? What is it gonna do in the deck? Absolutely nothing. So you're gonna activate Omega to put this card back in the graveyard. Now what's gonna happen next is that during the following turn, if they can't break this board, super duper simple. On your turn, you go to your main phase, you activate Omega to banish yourself, to banish a card in your opponent's hand, so you have more space for cards on the board. And then you have Misc in the graveyard, you can banish Misc, Giant Rex, of course Raptor, or maybe in a Petite, okay? Special, and of course Raptor from the deck. Raptor will trigger solo Giant Rex, okay? Giant Rex will special itself. Raptor will get its effect to search, and then you can add Tyranno from your deck to your hand using Raptor's effect. And now, like literally with these two, you know, you can make YuGiOh if you want, if you're scared of back row, and then you can banish 2 Dinosaurs to summon Tyranno. Literally put everything in attack, and then just attack your opponent for a game, right? And that guarantees you a follow-up, which is absolutely insane. And this is just off 2 cards, by the way, which is really, really good. So I definitely recommend you guys trying this out. I think it's really, really amazing. I think it's super duper awesome. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the combo. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think the best way to recycle Misc is using Omega to just, you know, put the Misc from your manage zone back into your graveyard. Unlike Keystone, you're shuffling this card back into the deck hoping to draw a follow-up, which is not the greatest logic to play when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! But hey, if you guys want to go ahead and play Keystone, I'm not stopping you. That's just my opinion. If you already have a follow-up, you want to either make like a Lagia or maybe a Doka. It's all up to personal preference on what cards you want to make, right? But nonetheless, you're always going to guarantee Misc in the graveyard while Omega is on the field, right? Which is really, really good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts about this deck in the comment section below. This combo is absolutely fire. By the way, if you open up a Lost World and also with Raptor, instead of just having this board of Boar Sword, you're gonna have a Abyss Dweller instead, which is still pretty cool in my opinion, which is Raptor and also a Lost World, which is really awesome. So I'll let you guys figure out that combo by yourself. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and let me know your thoughts about this deck in the comments below. It's your boy Sam from Team Star Sam signing out. Alright guys, peace.